Last month, you tried to hire a city manager who was fired for hiding public financial documents from his own community and his elected official. And tonight, you are trying to hire a city manager who was fired for stealing money, for using the city credit card, for making his own employees use their own city credit card for his benefit, for lying about where he lives, for lying about receiving an auto allowance that he wasn't entitled to. It only took about 5 minutes to find out that he was fired from Colorado, from a city in Colorado, after he was mishandling funds, and then fired someone who brought it to the other council's attention, and asked for an audit. So my question is, we know who these people are, but what are you about? What are you and the mayor trying to perpetrate in this community that you are working so hard to bring a city manager here who lies, steals, and hides financial records? This speaks to the type of leadership that you are about. This community has been hurt time and time again, 12 city managers in 12 years. Now we can look to them and blame them, or we could look to the people that hire them, because it is your responsibility. Charles Montoya is not the best leader for this city. Charles Montoya doesn't have the character to work at a liquor store in San Bernardino. Charles Montoya is the worst pick that you could bring here unless you are trying to steal from us, unless you do not want your eyes on what you are doing. You might as well bring back John Valdivia, if this is the level of corruption you guys want to follow again. Theodore Sandra, Juan Fred, and Mayor Tran. It took 5 of you to get him on the agenda tonight. So let's not pretend that you don't already believe that this guy should be here. You just have to do this publicly now. And you have to convince this community that this is the most vetted, the best candidate that Kaufman Associate could get you to come here. That is utterly ridiculous. You want to believe your own lie? You've been doing that for years. But this community is awake and is here and it is present, and it will not stand by. Because in the severance package, you have to pay him out, no matter how long he is here. You are going to pay him $10,000 to move here. What about a $10,000 investment into our community? You're going to give him a salary of $325,000 a year? What could that do for our children? You guys always talk about how there's so much negative. Do you realize that the headlines about this man in this paper is because of your choosing, not because of anything the community has done? Thank you.
But tonight, I cannot spend your money on hiring someone that I would not hire for my business. And that is just the facts of it all. And what we need you to continue to do is challenge us every single time, because we work for you. I don't believe in settling anywhere in my life. It's not something I was taught. It is not something that I teach my children nor my grandchildren. Nothing is too good for San Bernardino. We must continue to go and seek the best candidate for this position. And that is why it is my motion that we go back out and we look for the best candidate that San Bernardino can find. If we cannot do that at this particular time, City Manager McNeely has 30 hours per week, which takes us for 3 more months to be able to get us in a better position. There are many changes. There are many options that we have as a city. We need to look to those. But the one that I will not be deciding or choosing to decide on tonight is that we choose Mr. Montoya as our city manager.
Today marks a significant milestone for our city. This agreement comes as a result of rigorous deliberation and an extensive selection process. Mr. Charles Montoya brings to San Bernardino a wealth of experience, dedication, and a shared vision for our city's growth and prosperity. His resume is impressive, and his commitment to public service is unwavering. I'm confident that his leadership will be a catalyst for the positive transformation of our community. As we move our city forward, I would like to emphasize the importance of this decision and its profound impact on the future of San Bernardino. A city manager plays a pivotal role in shaping the policies and programs and services that touch the lives of our residents and businesses daily. I want to express my full support to appoint Charles Montoya as our incoming permanent city manager, who will continue the much needed progress and carry out the strategic plans initiative adopted by the Mayor and City Council on September 12th, 2023. In closing, I want to reaffirm our commitment to the growth, prosperity, and well-being of San Bernardino. With Mr. Montoya as our city manager, I'm confident that we are taking a significant step forward. Together, we will build a stronger, more vibrant, sustainable, and more inclusive city. Thank you, and let's look forward to a bright future and transform San Bernardino together.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of council. My name is Barbara Germain Whitehorn. I live at 3404 Beverly Drive here in the beautiful city of San Bernardino. As you're all aware, I am a resident and citizen of this city. I am no longer in the employ of the city of San Bernardino after being threatened today of having information damaging to my career released into the public domain. And then after saying, please do so, Mr. City Manager, because you'll have to fire me before doing that, he said, oh, well then I'll just fire you without cause. So I was fired today as your finance director. Tonight, I come to you as a whistleblower. Most of you already know this. I'm so sorry. I thought I could get through this fine. You have a budget coming before you which is reasonably balanced, but you also have 2 items coming before you with the City Hall project that also bring before you a project that has expanded from approximately $80 million to about $120 million, and that number is nowhere to be seen on this agenda. That amount also comes into play quite quickly. I was told that about $12 million is needed in the next 12 months, and that $10 million annually at a minimum will be needed starting in fiscal year 25-26 for the next 30 years for the debt service. The city does not have that money. I gave that information to the team in charge of that capital project the week of May 1st before I left on vacation. I came back from vacation today and was fired today. So I come to you, council, with that information today, and I come to you with that because I care about this city more than I care about my job, more than I care about anything else today. I love this city. I live in this city, and you all know that. He does not care about this city, and he lives in Riverside. Thank you for listening to me, and thank you for allowing me to serve this city proudly for more than 3 years.
This evening, and in written communication that I received from her, she said, the City Hall project is not financially sustainable for the city. She alleges that the original estimate of $80 million has increased to $120 million. As the city staff addresses the agenda item, they can address the projected project cost and the former employee's claim that the project cost is $120 million. I personally have asked staff where that number has come from, and I was advised that there are no cost estimates or documents that reference the cost of $120 million. But I would encourage you to ask questions this evening so that your public has an opportunity to hear, and that more importantly, you have an opportunity to hear this. It appears that the employee is questioning the propriety of the proposed financing, whether it is a proper thing to do for your city. She clearly has the experience as a finance director and the right to do so. I would suggest that we allow staff to make their report, and I strongly suggest that you ask questions and decide for yourselves as the decision makers whether the proposed financing is proper and in the best interest of the city, because that's your responsibility to do.
The last 2 items associated with City Hall on the both of the items, we're just going to remove them, and we might come back at a future date. I got to talk to the vendors on this, so we're going to remove it. Yep, we're going to remove it, and we may bring it back on the City Hall.
So number 20,
But I wanted to also mention that with the item being pulled regarding City Hall, there are definitely a lot of questions and concerns that have to be addressed, and they will be addressed. So just wanted to let you all know that in case you thought that we were going to let that get by, we are not. We have questions and concerns. While we are all wanting the City Hall to be revamped, we need to make sure that it's done fiscally soundly and with transparency for the city of San Bernardino. Have a good